Burn your fire on the altar. Leave a candle on the porch. I'm still too far away to see it, but I'm aching for its warmth. I became a Christian again because faith is important. It's important in ways I can't really explain, but I hope at some point I can show it. I hope at some point people can understand it. I was an atheist for 11 years, and I went there logically. I mean, I grew up in the Southern Baptist Bible Belt culture. I was indoctrinated from my youth. I was really indoctrinated, but I was always taught it was about love. God is love. And when I didn't see that anymore in what they were saying, everything I believed in became so ugly. And at some point I just put it down and stopped reading it because I didn't want to lose it, but I didn't want to think about it. And then I noticed everybody around me was getting hurt because of what people were saying this thing said. And the more I looked, the less I believed. And I went to other YouTubers like Himit Mehta and Jacqueline Glenn, and I watched them and I listened to them, and they made sense, and they explained things to me in a way that I understood their point of view was probably more correct than my own. And so I stopped believing. But I had another problem. Everybody has trauma in their past, and mine was just a little too overwhelming. And it ended up being 17 years of therapy visits that have left me with the opinion that while you should always seek help, you should always be careful about the help you seek to. And we really need to do something about mental health in this country. That's probably another video. This year has been hard on everybody. 2024, man, I started going, this is going to be a great year, and it just fell apart from the beginning, like day one. Anyway, I got to a point where I was so broken and alone just because I was starting to understand everything that had happened to me. I felt like all the people in my life had lied to me, going through my trauma therapy, and I felt so down and so low, and I had nothing left to believe in but my wonderful husband. He stood beside me the whole time, and he always did his best. But we all miss the mark sometimes, and even your best isn't always enough, and it caused fights because I wasn't my best either. I was not going to get through this without something else than myself to believe in, because I did not believe in myself at all. And my childhood hero was Jesus Christ. Because, yeah, I was indoctrinated, whatever, but he was like an anime hero to me, you know, like, believe it, right? He did what was right. At least that's what I was always told. And I always believed it, and I figured maybe if I could just find some truth in that, I could go with his philosophy, and that's something to make me young again. Something to give me a little bit of hope again like I used to have. I swear, I went everywhere I could away from the Bible. I'm gonna be pagan. I'll be pagan. And it just kept leading me right back to it. Maybe it's because of what I knew, and maybe it's because it's what I've been studying. I love watching Bible scholars like Dr. Dan McClellan, Professor Bart Ehrman. They're so well versed, and they made my world make so much more sense. And I started studying the people of Judea, like, because if you're going to look at this stuff, the people who wrote it, their opinions, they kind of matter. Kind of want to know what they thought, not what, you know, the italics tell me they thought. And I found that these people, they got conquered constantly, man. Just from like year 500 something BCE to now, well, not to now, but to Christ. They just kept getting conquered, and they kept suffering, and dude, they did some They did some like hostile level crap to these people. It was bad. And I guess I'm a really empathetic person, man. It just sucked. It hurt to see that this happened to them. And I'm reading their scriptures and I'm going, man, they thought some terrible things, but I'm starting to understand why. Because they lived terrible lives. But then there's something Christ said. He said, you got to do two things in this life. You got to love God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, your strength. And just like that, you got to love each other. And how could he believe that with all these horrible things? How did that make sense? And I could have gone the route that none of it's true, but like I said, I needed something, so I started looking at the scriptures going, where's the love? Where's Waldo, right? And sometimes that can hide really well until you start learning why people added things. Oh, well, this wasn't the original part and this wasn't the original part. I don't know. I just got to a point where it was pretty to me. But these people suffered and there was love in those words, even if I didn't read them right the first time. These people wanted to protect love from all their suffering. They didn't want revenge. They just wanted love. And that was just so pretty to me. And I gave in a little. I was like, well, let me be a little silly. Why not? What's it going to hurt? What can I possibly lose at this point? Because I'm going crazy. So I went a little silly. And it was pretty. It was fun. And you know what? I don't owe anybody an explanation for those sorts of things. I can believe in those sorts of things and still be a good person because I don't believe the Bible has to tell me what to do. I don't believe I need it to be moral. Morality isn't a gift we're given. It's something you got to earn. You got to work for that. And people need to treat it that way. So I'm not going to say I have morality because of the Bible. I'm not going to say I'm better because of this, because I'm not. I could just be some crazy person who thinks they found the answer. But what I did find was happiness and joy and a way to make myself better from what had shattered. Because I had shattered. I don't want to convince anybody that I'm right about what I know. Because what do I know, right? But I do want to tell people that sometimes you got to have faith in something other than you. Like, it's not each other. Like, really, each other would be great. But, well, look at 2024. It's hard, y'all. So, something. Just find something. I have faith in God because I went far outside the realm of what I was told to think about him. I found Bible scholars who didn't believe in him at all, but they spoke about him with such happiness and love, and I was like, shit, that's cool. Oh well. Oopsie, I sinned. So, what I really want to tell you is I want you to have happiness and love, and I don't care what that looks like, because I have faith that it is important and it will help you. I was commanded to love everybody by somebody I believe in. So I love you. And I want you to be happy. And all I'm telling you is just, even if you have to be a little silly, even if you have to risk getting hurt and disappointed, have a little faith and stick with it. Because if you stick with it for just a little while, you might see something really cool. It might only mean something to you. There's no way to measure it for everyone else when it's meant just for you. And that's the pretty part. I want to see faith look like that again. I don't know how to do it, but I have a lot of faith in the atheist community. They sure are working hard. I've been with them for a long time, and I'm going to miss being a part of it, but I don't think I'm going to miss it that hard, because quite frankly, I've never felt left out regardless of what I thought. So thank you guys so much for being you. I love you. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you soon.